I think about food insecurity, two statistics really come to mind. First is the estimate from the USDA, which is the government organization that's charged to measure food insecurity each year. The most recent report pulls data from 2020, which was during the COVID pandemic, and what they found was that 10.5% of all U.S. households experienced food insecurity at some point during the previous year. So this means a little bit of food insecurity, a lot, every day, or the whole year. And one thing to keep in mind with that number is that during the time of the COVID pandemic, there were a lot of changes made to government programs and policies that actually made it so that more families had access to what they needed to get food. And so without those changes to policies, this number, 10.5%, would be far higher. But even if you take that number at face value, we're still talking about 1 out of roughly every 10 households in the United States experiencing food insecurity and not being able to meet their basic needs. The other number that I really want to share is 55%. What this says is the number of households that were counted as food insecure using the government's measure that also reported participating in one of the biggest federal food and nutrition assistance programs in the previous month. Either SNAP, which is formerly the food stamp program, WIC, which is a special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, or the National School Lunch Program. So what this says is that families who were food insecure, in a lot of cases, were already participating in one of those programs, and it's still not enough. So to me, this points to the need that we need dramatic policy changes that address systemic and structural issues or the drivers of food insecurity, while at the same time reinforcing these programs to help individuals and families get what they need. The numbers don't tell the entire story, because even if we take that the U.S. government's estimate of food insecurity is 10.5%, we know that there are households who are disproportionately affected. So for example, households where the reference person is a single parent regardless of gender, households where the reference person is not white, Black, Latina, Latino, Latinx, Hispanic, Indigenous, Native American. These groups of households, in addition to all households with children, have food insecurity that's 2 times or 3 times the national average of 10.5%. And so we know that minimum 1 out of 10 households are affected by this, but it's far greater for some portions of the population, and this is a problem.